Hello and welcome to another Holly Jolly Policy Day episode of We Only Listen. I was trying to turn the word policy into something that rhymed with Holly and Jolly.
Oh.
And it
Policy.
didn't. Policy.
Hi.
My name is Don Weigel. Donald Weigel.
Oh, Don.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
but you
wait.
can call me
Wait.
Don.
There's a story behind this. My name is Donald Weigel, and I am here to talk about losing weight. I've lost about 100 pounds, kept it off for about 7 years. We are in the holiday season, and with me, as always, is...
Catherine Weigel. I'm interested about your Don story. Tell me your Don story. Hi, I'm Catherine Weigel. I'm a Tiny Habit certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach. I've lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over 7 years. And with me today is Dawn.
Yeah.
No, I have called you on the phone or asked for you, and I've said Dawn, and people are like, "We don't have a Dawn." Like, how do you say Dawn versus Dawn?
I say Dawn, but
what is the female name?
I also say Dawn.
So,
but I know a lot of people pronounce the D-A-W-N Dawn.
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 The Dawn's
yeah, it's
really
like
light.
the dawn. Yeah. But I don't know if this is interesting, but basically through a weird, like when I first got hired at the company where I work, they have like a, what is your name? And then what is your preferred name? And somehow the person who like put me in the system put me in as Don as my preferred name. So my email address at work is don.weigel at...
Really?
Yeah. And so I've just kind of like become Don at the office.
What?
Yeah.
So it's don.weigel at hollyjollypolicies.
At hollyjollypolicies.com.
.com.
Exactly.
You can't even say policies. You almost said palisades.
I know.
You don't even know where you work.
No,
He is in the Holly Jolly Policy Department, though.
that is very true.
If
very
in
much
Los
in the
Angeles,
policy department.
If in Los Angeles we can say June gloom and pretend it rhymes,
yeah,
we can rhyme jolly with policies if we want to, because
we
it is
sure
a
can.
Free podcast. So
yeah,
we can do what we want.
It's our show.
Ask for your money back. You can't.
Yeah, we'll give you all of it back because you didn't give us any.
But speaking of which, America, hello, and the universe, hello. We're on episode 360.
Yeah, we sure are.
That is a lot of episodes, and if we spin in a circle, it's 360 degrees.
That's right.
360 episodes, one policy, one episode.
I've done a complete 360 on this whole thing.
I know. Oops. Yeah, I'm not very good at degrees. But we have a degree in phitopsychology. No, I didn't.
Yes.
I obviously did not plan any of that. We have a degree in phitocracy. No, that's not. Never mind. Look, they're not all bangers.
I think it's time to bail on that one. I think we're bailing out.
So we're
using the emergency parachute, and we're moving on to the next topic.
Okay. So we in the last episode, 359, we gave you a lot of annoying potato math about the holiday season. And we threw math at you. You didn't ask for it, but we gave it to you anyway, just like an unwanted gift. We gave you the math of the holidays and talked about how if we didn't put some girding in place, some bolsters in place, that we would gain 15 pounds by New Year.
I thought you were talking about girdles for a second there.
No, yeah. We don't girdle.
Girdles were like big talk on like 50s sitcoms. It seemed like everybody was always talking about like girdles.
Yeah, but now we just call them shapewear.
Yeah.
That sounds much better.
It does. It sounds much better.
We gave you some ideas for shapewear for your brain for the holidays.
Ooh,
and,
shapewear for your brain.
Now,
I like that.
On episode 360, we are going to give you 360 potential policies that you can make to gird your holiday season.
We're going to gird the holiday season with policies, and we're about to read 360 of them. Are you trying to get people to listen or
Hey,
not
if
listen.
they've listened this far, we already get the download. It already counts. So whatever, man.
Yeah.
No, that all sounded terrible. I probably should wordsmith. I should use some AI to better prepare our listeners for some policies for the holidays.
Yeah, so maybe to try and attempt to rephrase slightly, like in the last episode, we talked about navigating the holiday season and planning ahead and really picking days that were important to you, and how on days where you were going to indulge, or even on days when you weren't, that it would probably be a good idea to engage in some policies, to have some policies at hand. We call them policies. We don't like to call them rules, because rules automatically starts to feel like a negative thing. But if you put a policy in place that when you encounter a certain situation, that your policy is that you will react to it in a certain way, it helps you navigate forward and to come out on the other side in a way that you're proud of.
Right. And in the past, when we dieted, this is in the before time, we would think of it as I will punish myself then.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the holidays, it'll just be a free-for-all. And then I'll start over again next year. And it was just this constant cycle of going up and down the jean sizes in my closet.
Yeah.
Because I just thought of it as a game. But this isn't a game. We have the identities of people, or we have cultivated identities of people who care about our health, who care about how we feel every day, how we show up in the world and on the podcast. And the more we can advocate for ourselves and see that we're not the victims of the holiday season, but we can enjoy things that really matter to us, and then put some standards or policies in place for things that are like, how do I manage this? Because we all have different things we're managing. It's not like we're not really going to give you 360 examples.
No, not really.
But think about the challenges, like we said on the last episode. What challenges do you have against your habits in the next month? How can you plan better for those by, again, not micromanaging, but kind of the general situations that come your way and some things that you can do to protect yourself from just throwing in the Christmas towel. Everyone has a Christmas towel or a Hanukkah towel.
All of my towels are terrible
a chamois.
towels. Yeah.
Why is chamois spelled chamois?
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not even sure what a chamois or chamois.
ShamWow.
ShamWow. Oh, ShamWow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
soak
that I
up
know.
the holidays.
That I know what
but
that is.
But not the regret.
Yes.
So what?
With your ShamWow, soak up the holidays. I just thought that was funny.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you. So
as we're going through this list of policies, we're not asking you to adopt every one of them. We're asking you to listen for ones that you think resonate with you and that you think you are willing to try, and also that you think might move the needle in terms of getting you through the holiday season in a way that you're proud of.
We've got the holiday needle. We've got the holiday Christmas ShamWow. There's so many things.
Go to our online store and buy the We Only Look Thin Holiday ShamWow.
And you'll get a holiday needle.
A free holiday needle with the first 5 purchases.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I identify as the kind of person who can move ahead in this podcast. We're going to give you...
I was trying to move ahead until I got sabotaged by a certain somebody sitting next to me. Also, as you're listening to these, just remember, you can try these policies out and see how they work for you. Think of an experiment. If you listen to some of these, you might be, oh, that sounds great. And then you try it and it doesn't go well for you. You don't have to, stick to it. You can try something else and move forward. But these are some ideas to try in order to not dig yourself into a deeper hole through the holiday season.
Yeah.
Okay. So a first possible policy. I guess I won't number each of them. I will eat at maintenance the day after an indulgent day. That is just my policy. Like, I have an indulgent day. I won't try to immediately go to a deficit the next day. I will eat at maintenance.
That's a banger. We should just stop there. but what's next? Let's not stop there.
I will eat a fruit or vegetable with every meal.
Nice.
I will seek out fruits and vegetables, low calorie items that are going to fill me up and help me to not overeat. I will stay hydrated, whether that's with water or your diet drink or your sparkling water. I will stay hydrated. I will really check out everything that's available before I just start taking food.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's at a holiday party or a buffet style situation. You don't want to load up on things and then, you see something that you wish you had had more, but you've already got the other thing on your plate, so you eat both things anyway. When possible, I will collaborate on food ahead of time. So again, that's if you're going to a gathering of some kind, you call up the host or you email them or you WhatsApp them or you text them.
Right.
I'm just going to keep naming ways.
And you say, hey, let's collab.
Let's collab.
Yeah.
I want to do a collab. But incorporate your food desires, your food wishes to stay on your plan as much as possible with the host. Offer to bring something that you know is on your plan that's friendly, that kind of thing, ahead of time. And this is a big one. I will stick, a big one for me. I will stick to the must-haves. I will only indulge in the things that I truly love. So this is the idea of you go to a holiday gathering or you're at a holiday gathering and you're not just going to eat that normal everyday, like let's say they have some sort of chips out or, is something that you still really like, but you can get that anytime. Really stick to the things that are truly meaningful for you in the food category could be one of your policies.
Great job. Okay, so the next ones are, I will truly savor the treats that I do have. I will take my time and enjoy them slowly and mindfully. This is a huge one. If our daughter comes in and starts talking to us about dinosaur fossils or whatever, and I'm trying to enjoy like a moment with a delightful treat, I will stop eating that treat. I will pay attention to her and then go back to eating the treat once she has gone away back to her dinosaur fossils.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've taken something that I was really looking forward to, and then I've had a conversation while I was eating it, or I did something else that was distracting, and I'm eating it, and it's gone, and I'm like, wait a minute,
gosh.
I didn't even stop and get to enjoy this thing I was really looking forward to.
Right, so then I go back and eat another one so that I can really savor it.
Exactly, that's the whole point.
Okay, so I will not give in to holiday scarcity mentality. Just because I can only get a certain thing at a certain time of the year doesn't mean I have to eat them all or hoard them. I have definitely done that in the past. This is the only time, so I'm going to buy them all. Don't do it, everybody.
Yeah, or you give in to the oh, hey, this is the only time of year I can get my favorite Starbucks. So I better get one every single day and sometimes twice a day, all year, no matter how many calories it is.
Exactly. And extra super double bonus middle ground policy right now. When I do get my festive drink, I will stick to the small. I will stick to the small and the tall, which is ironically the same thing. Just get the small one. You don't have to get the venti double, quadruple.
That's a bonus policy.
Bonus policy. So the next one is I will stick to my normal breakfast. I will start my day off right with the protein that I usually have. With my normal breakfast, I don't need to just wake up and just, chow down on the cinnamon rolls. Yeah, and
something I've done over and over again is I know that I have an indulgent dinner coming, and so then I'll just say, oh, what the heck, I might as well just eat and eat all day, and I'll start when I wake up. So, have a policy that you will not do that, and you'll have your normal food before whatever the indulgent meal is.
Right. So I will consistently remind myself that none of this, the month of December is not an excuse to just eat food. If we have 31 days of the month and 3 meals a day, not every single one of them has to be a crazy doodle party. And also, stress isn't a reason to punish myself with food. It may feel like a reward and like I deserve this, but it's just going to sabotage my goals. So if I'm feeling stressed, I will maybe go take a 5-minute walk, enjoy some holiday lights, step away from the kitchen. I'm not going to punish myself with food because food is fun, not punishment.
Yeah.
And then the last one on this one is I will not compromise my sleep. Santa Claus is only going to come down the chimney if I'm asleep.
That's
So
true.
let's just imagine all month Santa Claus come down,
That's
checking
just
you
a
out.
fact.
Like some people pre-make pies. Maybe Santa Claus come down the chimney every single night, stare at you. You got to be asleep. That's not creepy at all.
No, he stands over your bed and watches you sleep. I don't see what's weird about that.
Yeah, my parents let him in. It's fine.
Yeah. he's a mythical elf that my parents know for some reason.
Let into the house.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is have a policy that you will not drink your calories. So, we're not saying don't ever do it, but maybe your policy is you don't fill up on the sweet, sugary, high-calorie beverages that, are a whole bunch of calories and also don't fill you up at all. Maybe you have a policy that you will only have one alcoholic beverage when you go to an event, a party, a gathering, or even just, a Friday night and you're home alone. The idea is I'll only have one alcoholic beverage when I do this. You have a policy of I will not take leftovers. I go to a holiday meal and I am not going to take leftovers. Or you're making your holiday meal. You make enough. You don't make enough. You don't make so much that you're drowning in leftovers for the next couple of weeks. Your next one is I will not starve myself before an indulgent meal. I used to do this a lot. I would be like, okay, I know I'm going to eat a lot later, so I'm not going to eat very much now. And then it would lead to me just absolutely like diving head first into whatever treats were there whenever I was going to this indulgent meal. And I would eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and it wouldn't stop.
Well, and I think the problem with that too is that undereating leads to that overeating. But if I starve myself all day and then I get to the holiday event and then the chips are sitting there, I fill up on chips, and then by the time dinner gets there and the food I actually want, then I don't end up eating it. So eating in moderation, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another great point. And then a related policy is I won't go hungry to a gathering. And that's not just don't starve yourself, but actually, make sure that you're eating a reasonable amount of food during the day before the gathering, so that you're we just said, you're not starving when you get there.
Exactly. So, and this is a really good one. And I think it is something that I used to not do, but I definitely do now. I will work in holiday activities that aren't about food.
Oh, yeah.
So going on the walk at night to look at the holiday lights, going to the botanical garden for their light activities, the zoo for the zoo fun Christmas party time. I don't make up the names of the zoo activities. I'm just saying what I hear. But do things like do the fun run, do the walk, do the holiday stroll. Make it about activity and not just about the food things.
Well, and maybe it could even just be instead of, sitting around eating food, you're playing a board game or you're playing a card game or something that's not 100% food centric, because something that I think sometimes gets lost if you're anything like me is that the holidays are supposed to be about friends and family and tradition. And I try to make everything around them about food so that there's an excuse for me to have indulgent treats.
Right. And if the usual plan is we make tons of cookies, maybe it's we do holiday crafts instead. There are lots of other things.
Yeah.
There's so many kits that you can buy online to make festive holiday fun things instead of making it all food-based. Because really, it's about the quality time together, not necessarily the end result.
Or like when you trace your hand and then you turn it into a turkey.
Yeah. That's super. That was last month, man. You can't.
Everyone
Nobody
loves
makes
that.
a turkey in December.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so the next one is I will do my normal exercise as much as I can. I'll get in my activity. I will adapt to the season. If it's raining outside, I'll do an indoor activity. If it is nice outside and it's bright in the morning, I'll go for a morning walk. Get in that normal activity as much as you can. Even if you're on vacation, how can you fit in a daily walk, get in a little activity, even if the people that you're with don't. We are going away soon, and Donald and I haven't talked about it, but there's actually a gym on the premises as well as walking trails. So,
wow.
I'm sorry to drop that on you, but it is a true thing.
So funny, too. Like, I'm seriously on a podcast about health and fitness, doing it right now, and you said there's a gym on property, and my first reaction is, ew, I don't want to do that.
Well, but there's lovely walking trails also.
Yes, going for a walk, getting on a treadmill, I'm sure is a great idea that we will do.
Yeah, you're like, I definitely do that.
We're going to do
Catherine,
that.
you go ahead to the gym and see if there are save a
you
Christmas
scope it out,
towel
make sure
for me.
everything works well, and I'll meet you there eventually.
Right. Okay. Another one is I won't have treats before dinner. I save treats for after dinner. Just like the rest of the year, I'm a treat vampire. Wait until after dinner. I don't need to stuff myself with stuff before dinner. And then again, I will not have unplanned treats. I'm going to strategize about the things that really matter to me and not just graze through the holidays.
Yeah, something that comes along as a surprise, you will not indulge in that.
Yep.
Okay, the next one is I will do what I can. It is not all or nothing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And this relates to a lot of things that we previously talked about. But just because you're going to indulge in a day doesn't mean you should indulge and indulge and indulge the entire day or the entire week or the entire month. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Please do what you can do and make it a policy that you're going to do something as opposed to nothing. The next one is I will weigh myself regularly.
Yeah.
And I have a policy in general that I weigh myself every Saturday morning, whether I want to or not. And it really sort of keeps me honest in a weird way. I know people have difficult relationships with the scale, but for me, if I get on and I see the reality of what my actions are producing in terms of weight on the scale, it helps keep me pointed in the right direction. I will stick to my minimums, and that is setting minimums for yourself in terms of how much movement you get, how much whether you're going to track all the time, how much water you're going to drink. Like, stick to the things that you've decided are important. This is the minimum that I will do throughout a day. The next one is I will continue to track my calories even when I go over. And this really helps me if I keep tracking my calories. Like, a lot of times when I'd say, well, I'm going to go over anyway, why should I bother tracking? But having that evidence to look back on later really helps me when I'm moving forward. And also, I kind of have to consciously, when I'm tracking my calories, I sort of have to consciously go, oh, okay, so this really is how much I'm eating at this time. And then the next one, another big one, and this is maybe what all of this is about, is I will plan ahead. I won't just go into these holiday situations without any thought for what's going to happen, because then what happens is you just wing it and you end up eating and drinking way more than maybe you wanted to.
Exactly. No, and that's a really big one. I'm very plaid of you.
Plaid of me.
Plaid of you.
Yes.
Very plaid.
I appreciate you being plaid. I am gingham of you. You're plaid of me.
Houndstooth. We're just naming patterns.
We could be paisley of each other.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't like paisley. There we go.
Really?
I don't know. When I was a kid, I had family members who wore paisley. I was like, that's embarrassing. Don't drop me off at school. Because all the other kids, I'm sure, were really paying attention to.
See, I feel like paisley wasn't cool when it was cool, but now it's cool because it's sort of like retro.
I know what you're getting for Christmas. Okay.
You have to look at whatever you get me.
Yeah,
so just keep that in mind.
That is that's not nice. Okay, to finish this up, I will stand up for myself with food pushers. Part of that, too, is, and this is sort of a secondary one, if I get food treats as gifts from people, well-meaning people, I'll have a policy. You know what? I'll set one cookie aside and then I'll gift the rest.
Yeah.
I'll give them to my my Buy Nothing group. I don't know. I don't think anyone should take food to offices because nobody else needs any food. Just throw it away. It was a nice offering. Pass it along. I don't need to eat all of the calories just because they were gifted to me.
And people constantly try and push taking leftovers on me, taking them home if I go somewhere. And so just the thing to do is just either stand up for yourself and say no, or if that sounds terrifying, just take it and, like Catherine said, give it to somebody else later.
Yeah, throw it out, whatever. I do when we're down on Hollywood Boulevard, as we are sometimes.
Yeah.
Just keep
all the time.
Keep your hands in your pocket. When people are handing you things, don't take it.
Yeah.
On Hollywood Boulevard, don't go there. If you're coming to Los Angeles, don't go check out the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's not nice. But people try to hand you CDs or what year is this, by the way, that people are handing you CDs? Don't take anything. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously. And look, I know it's easier said than done. And I know, like, when your grandma's, trying to encourage you to eat more food, it can be very difficult to say no. But look, we're all adults. And if we're not going to, stand up for ourselves and set our boundaries and really, push for what we actually want and need, when is it ever going to happen?
Right. No, never. Never. It's never going to happen. Okay. So another one is when you notice you're having something indulgent, ask yourself, how can I
pump up the volume?
Wow. Nice job, Donald.
Thank you.
360 episodes and we finally pumped up the
finally
volume
got it right.
at the same time. And I know Donald had mentioned this earlier about having a vegetable or fruit at every meal, but just thinking about, like, how can I pump up the volume with this? I'm really going to enjoy it. How can I add something fresh and delicious, full of fiber to what I'm eating? I'm just going to ask myself that. How can I pump up the volume? That is what I'm saying. So, okay, so this gets into being out of our normal routine. The next one is, how can I prioritize movement, neat, or like whatever kind of activity, even when I'm out of my normal routine? If you're at someone else's house, can you prioritize just a 5-minute walk after dinner, before dinner? How can you get other people out and moving to enjoy the season? There's a lot of couch sitting at this time of the year.
A lot.
Sitting with people, catching up and sitting. It is exhausting. Getting out, moving, pointing at things out in your environment, that is neat.
Offer to walk the host's dog.
Oh my gosh, I did that last year.
Catherine did that a lot last year, seriously.
Okay, and to bring us on home, this season can be stressful. This episode was stressful. Maybe you're like, how am I even going to keep track of all of these amazing suggestions? I don't know how, but when you notice you're feeling overwhelmed, and this sort of ties back into your identity and really centering yourself, when you notice that you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. And this ties into tiny habits as well. It's not about like, okay, well, now I've got like every single place I'm going to be and the time I'm going to be there and the policy I'm going to have for myself. Step back when you're feeling overwhelmed and ask yourself, what is the next best choice I can make? Even if that is all you do for the rest of the year, what would benefit my future self? What, if I wake up tomorrow, what will have made me proud? Wow, I went to this event and I was able to pump up the volume. I stayed with my family, but I was still able to get in a short walk. Like, just those small things, when you can advocate for yourself, when you can take that moment to take a breath and not just say, that's it, it's over, I'm just going to eat all of the calories. When we can step back and take a little bit of time to serve our best interest, that's where the real change comes in.
Yeah.
So focus on your identity as someone who can solve problems, someone who doesn't give in to every single food opportunity at the holidays, and someone who really cares about their health. For us, it is possible. I know myself. I know that I'm not like always the best version of myself, but when we start coming up with all of these solutions for ourselves, I'm letting you know right now, it actually starts feeling natural. Like, oh, I'm having this, I'm pumping up the volume. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go on a walk. It feels really good to start living into the kind of person you want to be. I still remember the first time I decided to go on a walk when I was stressed. instead of turning to food or getting takeout. Like, and it was oh my gosh, I did it. Like I did the thing I said I was going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So go listen to this episode 2 or 3 more times. Why not? Go back.
Exactly. Go for a walk while you're listening to it 2 or 3 more times.
Exactly. When I'm feeling stressed out, I will go back and listen to an episode of We Only Look Thin. But really, from this episode, what is one thing that you can take away? What is one policy or standard that you can take with you in your health and wellness toolbox along your way on your health journey? And what can make your holly jolly policy holiday more funner? Nothing is more funner than listening to We Only Look Thin, and you just did it.
You did. So
you did it.
Congratulations on having something more funner. And truly, I want to say we are really grateful that you've decided to spend some time listening to this episode of the show, especially if you're doing it, in the middle of the holidays.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Extra
and
bonus
we are
credit.
really grateful. And you can listen to the most recent 300 episodes of this show on all of the major podcast platforms, wherever you found this one you're listening to right now. Or you can go all the way back to episode number 1 and listen from there, either on YouTube or at our website at weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at our website, click on that link for Join Our Support Group to find out more about Wolt Place. Wolt Place, We Only Look Thin Place, is our Facebook-based accountability group for women. We are not a weight loss plan, but we are a place for accountability, chuckles, policies, standards, amusing things. We have weekly Zoom meetings all through the holiday season to help support your goals. We have subgroups for weighing in and getting in activity ideas and recipe ideas, because we all need recipes. We all need ideas.
We all do.
But it's just such a great place for support, and I'm super proud of everyone in the group for sharing their journey ventures. And we have 2 subscription options: a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial, and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if Wolt Place is right for you.
Yeah, so please check it out. And you can also check us out on social media. You can hang with us on the socials at We Only Look Thin on both Facebook and Instagram. Or if you want to chat via email, you can send us an email to weonlylookthin@gmail.com. Tell us which policies really resonate with you. Are there some policies that you have that we didn't touch on that you would like us to cover on a future episode? Are there topics in general that we haven't talked about in a while? Or would you just like to say hi, give us a compliment, or ask a question? You can do all of those things at weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Yep, and if you have a couple of extra minutes, please head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and a review. Not only does it let us know that what we're doing after all of these years is still making a difference on your journey venture, makes us feel good, and it also helps other people find our podcast when they are looking for cool beans, health, fun podcasts like ours. They will find it, but it is your responsibility to help them.
And if you also want to help Cool Beans people that you know find us, you can just tell them about our show. Word of mouth really does help the show grow. People in your life really do value your opinion, and if you're getting something out of this episode or this show in general, and you think others would too, please give us a shout out. Also, if you're on the interweb, if you are in a Facebook group, a Discord server, health, fitness, weight loss related subreddit, something like that, and you give us a shout out, it really does help the show grow.
Yep, so if your only takeaway from this episode is that you will definitely not accept leftovers or CDs from your grandmother on Hollywood Boulevard, just remember that Donald and I are an inspiration. Not today, Grandma.
I don't want any of my grandma's CDs. The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.